Hi, this is Brad Johnson with MMA Florida Fighter. We're back here in Coconut Creek, Florida, to interview one of the top female fighters in the world, Miss Jessica Aguilar. Jessica?
Hello, sir.
Also, we've got her coach, Marcos D'Amata. Marcos, who's also a champion. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
How long have you been training here with these people?
Well, I've been training MMA for 4.5 years. I've been training here with Marcos, my instructor, and with American Top Team for about a little bit over 4 years. So, you know, this is my home, and this is my main instructor, and I'm just happy to be here.
So what got you started in this? I mean, people are always curious what gets let-alone guys started, but it's not stereotypically a woman's sport yet, although it's growing, and I think it's frankly exciting to watch these girls go at it. So you just woke up and decided you want to be a full contact fighter?
No, not at all. It was actually a coincidence. It kind of happened, you know. Somebody offered me a fight. I started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 4.5 years ago, and after a month I went to compete to a Naga grappling tournament. I won with gi and with no gi. I didn't know what I was doing, but I won. All they told me is to stay on top, you know. So that's all I did, and I won. I went on to 2 weeks after that, I went on to my second competition. It was an American Top Team tournament. At that time, I had no idea who American Top Team was. I barely knew what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was, you know. So I had no idea who MMA was, who, you know, American Top Team was at the time, and that's where I was offered my first fight. I didn't compete at that tournament because there was no girls or guys at my weight to compete against, but there was an AFC, which was owned by American Top Team, one of the biggest MMA organizations here in South Florida at the time, and that was happening following Saturday, and they were looking for a replacement for Erica Montoya, and you know, I happened to be there. They asked me if I wanted to fight. I said yes. I had no clue what I was getting into though, and he's, you know, the matchmaker at the time asked me, you know, how much MMA experience do you have? I had no clue what MMA was. I come from a biology background, so I was looking for kind of an abbreviation.
So you're an academic.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been an athlete all my life, but, you know, I went to school as well, and, you know, didn't finish, but, you know, I still have a lot of time to finish after my career is over. However, I was trying to look for an abbreviation for MMA. I had no clue what MMA was, so he kind of knew that I didn't know, and he said mixed martial art. I said, I have none. The only training I have is with my two brothers at home. You know, I grew up with two brothers. I'm the only female. So you know, he said, "So you want to fight?" I said, "Of course, I want to fight." And you know, I was used to paying a registration fee for the tournament. So I said, "When do I have to pay you?" And he looked at me and laughed at me, and he said, "I pay you." And I'm like, wait a minute, I had just moved to South Florida not too long ago, and he said, you're fighting another girl at your weight class. He explained it to me, so I said, well, if he's paying me and I'm fighting another girl, what can happen? You know,
yeah.
She's 115 pounds. There's nothing that, you know, she can do. My brother's 180, you know.
Yeah.
So I took the fight I had a week to train for that fight, and I fought against Lisa Ward. I lost that fight, but it was the fight of the night, and that's where, you know, I got that's where American Top Team saw me, and I kind of gained my fans, a few fans from there, and, you know, after that, one of my really good friends introduced me to American Top Team, brought me over here, and introduced me to Marcos, my trainer, Pampina, and, you know, came in, I introduced myself, I told him what I wanted to do, and he said, all right, you know, sign up. I signed up, and, you know, 4.5 years later, here I am. You know, it's just, I've met great people, you know, I've traveled.
There's a good bunch in here.
I traveled around the world, you know, with the sport, and with the great team, American Top Team. I can ask for more, with the best trainers in the world, with the best training partners in the world. So, you know, I'm just, you know, happy to be here 4.5 years later, where I am at today, and have the opportunity that I do have.
I think that's great. Marcos, do you find it any different training a woman to fight? I don't mean to be sexist, but a lot of schools, a lot of places, I've done this long, they lay down a little bit when they're training.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah, usually I would say yes, because girls have their own issues, you know, about like moody and complaining about training, complaining about being sore, and about training with guys. But this girl is different, you know. She's like, you know, pretty much not saying anything different, but she has more balls and heart than a lot of men that I know. Actually, I just have her. You know, I kind of don't like to be involved too much with girls because those kind of problems. But she's different, you know. She's my only girl. She's my only MMA female fighter, and I see no difference between training her and my other guys.
No, when she gets in the ring, I've watched her fight. There is really no difference. Now, you guys got a tough fight coming up with this, you know, Rosie Sexton. She's, you know.
Actually, she's fighting Lynn Alvarez. Rosie Sexton.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Rosie Sexton is out of the tournament. She got knocked out by Zolia Frausto about a month ago, and the commission would not allow her to fight between the time that she got knocked out and the Bellator first round tournament, you know. So
right.
Unfortunately, she's out. It was something that Jessica was really looking forward to it, you know, because
that was a good matchup, actually.
Yeah, and it was a fight that was already rescheduled once because Jessica got hurt, you know, and don't get me wrong, Rosie Sexton is number one 125-pounder in the world. You know, it would be awesome to have Jessica in the same cage as her. But unfortunately, God didn't, you know, allow us to do this time. Maybe we can do another time. That
would have been great because you're primarily a grappler. I mean, your strength is down there. I know you strike, but so is Rosie. I mean, she's an armbar specialist. That's what she mostly wins on.
Well, I wasn't scheduled to fight her. I was actually, she was going to be in the tournament. So obviously we could have been, you know, matched up eventually, but she wasn't. We weren't scheduled to fight.
Right.
So my first fight will be Lynn Alvarez in this Bellator tournament.
Doesn't it? It's a little more difficult when your mindset is to train for one person.
Oh, no, not at all. For me, it's not like that. I train hard for all my fights. I don't underestimate any of my opponents. They're all in the same, you know, in the same level. I always say, you know, it's like, you know, my prize here that I'm going for Bellator is to beat Megumi Fuji, which is pound for pound the number one female in the world. That's my goal. So, you know, I see Lynn Alvarez as being a Megumi. I'm not going to say, you know, oh, you know, I'm not going to underestimate her, and I'm not going to, you know, anybody. They're all in the same level. I train hard. I do what I have to do on my part. That's what I have my, you know, the best trainers in the world and my training partners to look at this strategy and decide what to do with my training. But, you know, my training is the same for every fighter, whether they change a day before or whatever. I'm still ready for.
So you're just ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Well, I know you do public appearances too. You'll do shows. If somebody wanted to have you come to an event, how would they get a hold of you?
Yes, well, you know, I just recently got my website up, so you can go to www.jessicaaguilar.com, and you know, you can contact me that way, or you can email me at jag@jessicaaguilar.com, and you know, it'd be a pleasure to have me to be out to you know, speaking to people or kids or women or empowering or, you know, just for appearances as well.
I think that's fantastic. Well, you guys got a tough bout coming up, and I know you want to do a little more training. Jessica, I want to thank you very much for interviewing with us. Marco, I want to thank you too.
Thank you very much for the
Jessica,
opportunity.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank
very
you for
much,
having
and
me.
good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.